Today I'm going to remove the AC compressor from a Kia UB sedan, the little hatchback type thing that I sit down there. Now it looks like the compressor is pressing up against that part of the cooling system there where the water reservoir is. So I'm going to first focus on pulling the fans out, which hopefully isn't too challenging. And then the rest of it is through the bottom under here. So I have to remove this protection cover here. It looks like with the cooling system out of the way, the power fan, back in the old days we called them cooling systems, so I still do. And looks like it should be easy enough to come out by removing the AC lines, 4 bolts, and the connection, power connection. The car just drove up on the ramps. It's not that low. If it's lowered, you might have to jack up the front end to get some stands underneath there, but this car's a standard riding height, so she just drove up. This is so we can get the height we need to get underneath the car to get the compressor out. The very first step you'll want to do is take off the low side cap and just make sure there's no refrigerant in there. I've already done this, but you want to wear eye protection because that's pointing directly at you. So if there's high pressure in there, see, there's nothing. You hear that? Just a slight sis, that's it. There's nothing in there. But if that was full of pressure, it'll spit oil at me as well as gas. And then if it gets in your eyes, you're going to be blind for a couple of hours. So that's safe to remove the compressor. I don't have to worry about getting it reclaimed. Then you want to remove the negative terminal on the battery. Things may reset, like your stereo. So if you don't know, if your stereo has a security system with PIN number, you need to make sure you know what that is. Also, make sure that you've got the keys outside the car so you can get back in when you reconnect the battery. Some cars automatically lock when you reconnect the battery. But now we need to get the serpentine belt off. So we need to make it loose first. On the front of the alternator, just down the bottom there, you've got a 14mm bolt. Just loosen that off. Now you've got the locking bolt on the side of the top of the tensioner. Just need to loosen that off. Now you can loosen off the tensioner bolt and swing it out all the way you can, and then just push it up out of the way. But before I take the belt off, I'm just going to take a photo from the inside here, just so I know how the belt goes back on. The belt's off. Just slip it over that pulley there because it's nice and smooth to get past. Makes the job a little bit easier there. I could have taken it off from the alternator, but I would have had to have returned it at the same time, so the belt can just stay like that. Before I go taking all this part at the top off, I've noticed that by putting my finger down there, so I can get to the bolts quite easy from the top there. Well, not quite easy, but it's accessible. So I figured I might just take the cover off the bottom first, the splash guard. Then I'll be able to see if I can take the compressor out from the bottom without having to remove all this top stuff. At this point here, I normally say take out all the little plastic grommets, but this looks like it's been wackadoodled a few times. So it's got fiddle-toed screws in places and random cable ties. So just take the cover off however it looks underneath there. I only need to get the one side off because I can see there's a joint there, so I'll focus on that side only. Before undoing the AC lines, I'm just going to get this power clip out of the way. Easy enough, just a little press clip. Take that out of the way. I've already loosened them off, but it's easy to access. So the 12mm on the AC lines. You've got one there, easy enough to reach. One over there, easy enough to release or undo, and then we'll get them bolts out and get those lines off and dropped to the bottom. Just in case they're different length bolts, I better show that and put that up there in a tray there. Okay, both of them are the same length bolt, no problems there. Okay, so we'll just get that one line popped off there, but we got this reservoir that I thought would be a problem. I can't remove that reservoir. It looks like it's seated onto the power fan there, but I think that I'll be able to drop if I undo the two top bolts first, go underneath, and undo the two bottom bolts, and drop that compressor a little bit. I won't need to worry about taking this out. I could be wrong, but that's what I'll do. If I find that I have to take all the power fan out, that's something that we'll still get to. But for now, I'll get to those there, and the 12mm as well. This would be the same way you remove the radiator. Taking this cover here off. And we're going to need to get this cross member here out of the way as well. So before getting to the AC compressor, you will want to take this off. I hunted down a older socket, 12mm, but it's a little bit shorter, and it's 6-sided. That's the main point here, because I'm not liking the 12-sided, sorry, sockets that go on there. Okay, so a shorter socket does the trick, and I'll go get a UB to help me with that. If you don't know what a UB is, bit of pipe. Here we go. Still needs that help though. Can't get in there just yet. There we go. Alright, well, I don't want to take that too far out because then I'll have my ratchet stuck in there. Alright, that's finger tight. The other one loose first. You know, mentioning the 6-sided socket, I wish that they made more socket sets like that. I know the convenience of, oh diggity, I know the convenience of it's convenient to get onto places, but less chance of bugging the head up with a 6-sided. Alright, that's that one coming loose now. There it is. I was going to remove all this to get access to it, and then I had a moment where I thought, no, if I got a shorter socket. Okay, one out. I swore they would have had Loctite on them, how tight they were. That's interesting. The reservoir is still a problem there. So keep that in mind for when putting it back in. That bolt has to be put back in the compressor. Now we can go underneath. Okay, so I'll just give this a wiggle, and there it comes out. And now that part there, this one doesn't want to let go. I'll give that a bit of a wiggle. There it's come. All right, compressor's out. Anyway, the car was diagnosed with a bad compressor, and the person who wants this fixed has given me a second-hand compressor which is dry, so I'm going to have to put some oil in it first, and then we'll put it back in. I'm having a wonderful time with the camera today. It keeps on recording, and then I look back and it's not recording, so I really don't know how this is going to turn out. But anyway, what I've done was, I can only show you now because I've already put the oil in. I couldn't find my measuring cup, so I've just used a cup from inside the house. Quarter cup equals 60ml. I've gone just a little bit shy of the brim. I want to put about 100 to 120ml of refrigerant oil in. Because it's a 134A system, we're using the PAG 46 oil. That's already in there. I just need to cycle this about 15 times, and then we go ahead and put this back in. told the person who gave me the second-hand compressor, there's no guarantee it's going to work. It would have been better off spending 200 bucks on a brand new compressor, but they want to go ahead and try and do it as cheap as possible. So this is where we're at, just following the customer's instructions. I really don't know how this is going to end up. Is it going to work or not? Now, the person who gave me this compressor to replace their old compressor doesn't even know if this works. I tried to guide them away from this, saying you're better off spending 200 bucks on a brand new compressor. That way we've got a guarantee the compressor is going to work and we're going to get the system going. But they want to try and do it cheap. They got this off a friend of theirs who's had it in storage for whoever knows how long. So it's dry. I've put the oil in. I've turned the clutch around multiple times now just to get all the oil in there lubricated. We don't know if it's going to leak from the seal here or if the clutch works. We don't know anything about this compressor. So I strongly advised against it, but the person who gave it to me wants to go ahead with it anyway. So hopefully it works, because then the job ends up costing twice as much to do because I have to redo. These are the seals off the lines that I need to replace. So I just need to find one that will suit. Okay, looks like they're the ones that I'll go with. Well, the good news is getting it in is a lot easier than I expected. I didn't know, or didn't think I could get this line back on without attaching it to the compressor first, but I couldn't get it on the compressor first. So I had to put the compressor in. So I got it in on one bolt. There's guides on there, so when you've got the compressor on in place, the bolts get in easy enough. And then I was able to slide these lines, or this line here, back on quite easily. There's a little bit of a push there, but not too much. And this other one sits on, so I can bolt everything up now. And then I'm going to put a vacuum on it first, before anything else, just to see if she holds the vacuum. And we just want to make sure that those seals are sealed up. Before I go tightening everything up down there, the AC lines are tightened, and the valves are done. I soaked the seals in oil while I was putting the AC pump up. I didn't show you that bit, but they're all nice and lubed up as well. So now we're just pulling a vacuum. I'm going to leave this alone for about 15 minutes, and then I'll turn it off. If it holds a vacuum, then I'll turn the vacuum pump back on while I tighten everything else back up and put the belt and everything back on. Right, our belt's back on, so you can see how it goes back on from underneath here. Definitely a lot easier from the side cover being removed, that you can access the belt and so forth. That's nice and easy there. Bit of a better view there. And so there's two 10mm at the top, one up the front here. So when you're taking the cover off, that's the two 10mm there, one bit lower, and then the rest of it is, well, this one here was self-tappets that I had to remove, but should be probably just two grommets over here. This one, self-tappets, or wherever they were. Anyway, so take that off, and it's definitely a lot easier to get access to that belt. So I'm tightening everything up right now. It's holding a vacuum, so it's currently vacuuming while I'm putting everything back together and tightening everything up. For starters, I can see where the mark was from where this originally was. I'm tightening back up to there, then I'll go into the car and just check that tightness. Yeah, it feels good. Beauty part is though, it's nice and easy to get access to if the belt does slip. I'll put the splash shield on, just let the whole thing vacuum the whole time while I put everything back together. Well, that's what's coming out at the vents right now. They are very lucky that the compressor even worked. So, happy days for them. Nice and cold coming up the vents. Can't complain about that. Righto, that's about it. Till next time, guys. Cheers. I'll get it this way, and I'll get another spanner onto this spanner. And get the leverage I want to get that cracked. Son of a... Make sure it's on properly. Last thing I want to do is thread the bolt. Son of a gun, that's really tight. Bitch. Fucker.